Good evening. Welcome to Light TV Main News. Quote of the day: every sunrise is an invitation to start anew and rewrite your story. The headlines. President Hichilema warns fuel companies against withholding fuel. Government approves 24 hours business operations. Chainda Councillor assesses school feeding programs benefiting over 3,200 pupils. Zambia Army Special Forces shine in mixed martial arts. With the news in detail, my name is Munadula Inambao Chisenga. President Hakainde Hichilema has warned marketing companies against holding fuel and creating artificial shortages, describing the practice as sabotage. Speaking at a high-level meeting with industrial players in Lusaka, President Hichilema said Zambia has between 30 and 60 days of fuel stocks in storage, yet many filling stations remain dry. He stressed that withholding fuel in anticipation of higher prices harms the economy and ordinary citizens. The president highlighted government efforts to address supply distortions, including reforms in the energy sector and the planned fuel pipeline project to reduce transport costs and stabilize supply. He has also urged companies to resolve disputes through dialogue rather than prolonged court cases and encourage greater private sector participation in infrastructure projects, including fuel pipelines, to strengthen Zambia's energy security.
We also want to, more importantly, appreciate you for taking on the role once government exits from the petroleum procurement arrangements. You enhanced your role in the sector. And I'll talk about that just a little bit. So you could have said it's complicated, it's difficult, which you came forward. So thank you very much. Let me also indicate something that the Minister has already pointed out, you have pointed out, that before I say it the way I want to say it, that we've been working hard as your government since August 2021, extremely hard. We inherited a very difficult economy. You all know it, you are business people. And we worked very, very hard and continue to do that, to turn around the country's economic situation, not just to bottom up, economy was declining, but not just to bottom up, but to actually expand the economy. And I think in the last 4 years, we have to deal with lots of things, debt restructuring, we have to deal with obviously drought, we have to deal with our program with the IMF, which you know we successfully completed, which some colleagues around in the region find it difficult, we've been able to go through. But we've only been able to do those things because of your support and other sectors' support. Now, after the drought, we got basically decapitated on the electricity side. Our generating capacity was literally cut to size. And we've worked so hard to reconstruct the situation, to build resilience, and we have said at the beginning of the year, 2025, that by December 2025, we'll be in a better shape. And true, we're in a better shape. And now, from January, we've been saying, what we want to do is now consolidate, grow the economy. Truly, we believe we have achieved a positive convergence of variables, inflation, exchange rate, since we are important, you know, the critical nature of the forex market.
The Zambian government has approved 24 hours operations for businesses, markets, and bus stations across the country in a move aimed at boosting economic growth and improving service delivery. Information and Media Minister Cornelius Mwetwa says the decision was reached during the third cabinet meeting chaired by President Hakainde Hichilema on March 16, 2026. He says the measure will enhance productivity, create jobs, and ensure services are available round the clock. Minister Mwetwa says also disclosed that Cabinet approved key legislative reforms, including the repeal of the Parliamentary and Ministerial Code of Conduct, updates to laws on board and committee appointments, and the Education Amendment Bill of 2026 to entrench free education from early childhood to secondary school. Cabinet further approved the Resettlement Management Bill and plans to establish public universities in 6 provinces, aiming to expand access to higher education across Zambia. The government and the Independent Broadcast Authority have urged media houses to uphold professionalism ahead of the August 2026 general elections. Speaking at the IBA election reporting workshop in Choma, Information Minister Cornelius Mwitwa said, called on journalists to avoid misinformation, hate speech, unverified content, warning against the misuse of artificial intelligence to manipulate information. IBA board chairperson Chisokola Chula said the workshop aims to strengthen ethical elections reporting and equip broadcasters with skills in responsible journalism. Over 50 participants from across the country are attending as the authorities emphasize accurate, fair, and impartial media coverage to safeguard democracy.
Allow me to take this opportunity to warmly welcome you all to this election voting workshop, an important initiative aimed at strengthening professionalism and ethical standards in Zambia's broadcasting industry ahead of the 2026 general elections. The authority is particularly grateful to the Honorable Minister of Information and Media for accepting to grace this debate. Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. Guest of honor, ladies and gentlemen, the media plays an important role in shaping public opinion and fostering trust in the electoral process. It is for this reason that the authority has prioritized this capacity building workshop ahead of the August 2026 elections to equip broadcasters with skills and technical ground, past experience, and feedback from the public. Through the monitoring of broadcast content, we have identified gaps that we think could be addressed through workshops like this one. In this way,
let me also now indicate that relevant going forward from the Office of the Minister for Information and Media, and thereafter in my capacity as party spokesperson of the UPNB, and even the Chief Government spokesperson, there shall be no statement that will come from my office or offices that I hold that will be a dry statement and not accompanied by an audio or video in order to counter the machinations of social media abuse. Only recently, there has been circulation of statements attributed to my office, where we are saying we are guarding certain statements relating to the former president's funeral to be released. That is abuse of social media.
The Zambian government has dismissed public debate over a memorandum of understanding with the United States on health sector funding. The Minister of Information and Media, Cornelius Mwitwa, says the discussions are being handled through formal government-to-government channels and should not be sensationalized in the media. He adds that reports on an imminent withdrawal of funds are misleading, and stressing that the matter requires careful, structured dialogue. Mr. Mwitwa says once the talks are concluded, the public will be informed of the outcome.
From you media colleagues relating to what is contained in one of our tabloids today, in particular the issue of the MOU between the United States of America and Zambia relating to funding to the health sector and what is contained therein, that there might be withdrawal of funding to the health sector because of this MOU. I would like to state here that for us as government, the matter of the MOU between the United States of America and the Zambian government is not a matter of media gallery debates. This is a matter that is being handled diplomatically. This is a matter where the government of the Republic of Zambia and the United States of America government are fully engaged. And at the right opportune moment, the nation will be accordingly informed, and the world will be informed of the outcome of those engagements. So from our side, relevant going forward, as we have stated from inception, this is not a matter that has to be liaised to the citizens through press releases. We are fully engaged, and the nation will be informed at the right time. Thank you.
The Zambian government has strengthened maternal health services with a 1.2 million kwacha donation of labor and delivery equipment to selected health facilities in Lusaka. Minister of Health, Dr. Alex Minister of Health, Dr. Alex Katakwe, officiated the handover at the Lusaka College of Nursing and Midwifery, where SIDS Global Health donated delivery beds, autoclaves, trolleys, and modern training mannequins. The equipment will benefit Matero, Chawama, and Kanyama Level 1 hospitals. Dr. Katakwe says the donation represents government's commitment to improving maternal and newborn health outcomes and emphasized investing in midwifery training to enhance service delivery. He urged facilities to properly use and maintain the equipment while encouraging student midwives to take full advantage of enhanced practical learning opportunities. We take a break. We take a set of commercials. I will be right back.
Admission is now open. Are you looking for a nurturing environment that fosters academic excellence, creativity, and personal growth for your children? Look no further than Christ Life School. Our dedicated team of educators and staff are committed to providing a world-class education that prepares students for success in an ever-changing world. With a focus on holistic development, we offer a range of programs and activities that cater to the unique needs and interests of each student. Why choose Christ Life School? We have experienced and passionate teachers, state-of-the-art facilities and resources, personalized attention and support, opportunities of extracurricular activities and talent development, strong emphasis on values and character development. So there you go. Admission is now open for 2026. Enroll today. Contact +260 976 840 108 or +260 968 594 434 or send an email on christlifeschoolzm@gmail.com. Christ Life School.
President Hakainde Hichilema visited Twashuka Primary School in Kanyama, Lusaka to assess the implementation of the school feeding program. He told pupils that investing in young people is equivalent to investing in the nation and urged them to take care of the school's resources provided. Speaking during the visit, President Hichilema pledged to build the school a hall. I beg your pardon. Speaking during the visit, President Hichilema pledged to build a school hall for Twashuka Primary School and said he is ready to sign free education into law, describing the plan as ready. Crowds also gathered along the route to chance a glimpse of the head of state. The visit demonstrates the government's commitment to supporting education, improving school infrastructure, and promoting well-being of learners.
Your Excellency, behind every statistic stands a child who can now concentrate in class, who stays in school because they know a meal awaits them, whose future suddenly becomes possible. School feeding is not simply a program. It's an act of hope. It tells every child, you matter. It tells every parent, your children has a chance. And it tells every community, the future begins at school. Mr. President, we are deeply encouraged by the leadership your government continues to demonstrate in prioritizing school feeding as part of the Zambian education and development agenda. Your commitment reflects a clear understanding that when we nourish children, we nourish the nation's future.
Pays a country. I know we are too impatient as Zambians because when we plant maize, we harvest after 3 months. I also know that a pregnant woman carries the child for 9 months. Education's gestation period is long. It's about 20 years. Now, if you plant a seed and it takes you 20 years, just look at the outcome. Just see this country in the next 20 years. You will believe that the president planted something which many countries are failing to do.
Another great day. Another great day. It doesn't matter how you are framed as a human being, but when you come to a place like this, Twashuka, just look at the multiples of learners that are here, both in the primary section and the secondary section. You should be moved as a normal human being. Why should you be moved? Just to reflect that these young souls are walking the path of opportunity. To me, that is great. Because I walked this path like them years back. And without this path, we wouldn't be who we are today. Sometimes we forget. Human beings do forget. And we need to be reminded that these souls are Zambia's assets.
Chainde Ward 33 Councillor Nsama Mpundu has assessed the impact of the school feeding program at Chainde Secondary School in Munali constituency, Lusaka. Speaking during the visit, head teacher Mubita Muita expressed gratitude to the Zambian government, noting that 3,258 pupils are currently benefiting from the initiative. He said the program has significantly reduced absenteeism as learners are assured of a daily meal. Mr. Mpundu said the visit was aimed at sharing a meal with the pupils and verifying the effectiveness of the program. He also highlighted the government's recent addition of milk to improve the learners' nutrition. Meanwhile, a grade 11 pupil, David, said the program has helped learners concentrate in class instead of worrying about food. He also thanked President Hakainde Hichilema for free education, saying he is now in school because of the policy. He added that he works as a bus conductor on weekends to support his personal needs and help his mother. Another pupil, Leah Njovu, thanked the government and expressed hope that the program will continue.
Are you happy with it? Yes! I wanted to get what's the meaning of this?
At Chainde Secondary School in Lusaka, the school feeding program is transforming Learners with 3,258 pupils now benefiting from the daily meals. Head teacher Movita says the initiative has reduced absenteeism as learners are motivated to attend class consistently.
So currently our school is talking of 3,258. I need to share with you just a little bit. When we were closing last year in December, we were sitting at 2,753, but by today we are at 3,258. Firstly, the feeding program is a great idea. It's a great initiative. Number one, it has helped to reduce absenteeism. We have learners that are self-catering, or they are taking care of themselves. When they come home, sometimes they don't have what to eat. And when they are here with this feeding program, it makes sure that they have eaten. It takes off pressure from thinking of what am I going to eat, and also increases concentration and gives them time to study. We have learners that really are coming from homes where either they are taking care of themselves or their parents are struggling. This program has helped a lot.
Ward 3 Councillor Samampundu, who visited the school, described the program as key to improving education, noting the addition of milk to boost nutrition.
Oh, I'm extremely delighted. I feel that the program has helped exceptionally. The students get back into school, be motivated, focus. Also happy to see that the program will now include milk going forward. It's a big boost for many young learners who are coming from extremely vulnerable families. And I think both the students and their families alike are appreciating this great deed done by the government of President Hakainde Hichilema. And I'm happy to see that our next future presidents, doctors and lawyers, innovators and creatives are being fed the right input for their growth and success.
A grade 11 pupil says the program helps learners to focus on school instead of worrying about food, while also crediting free education for keeping him in class.
This feeding program is really benefiting the school a lot, not just the school, but some of us who are staying alone, who are unable to support ourselves. Because you find that when you are in class, instead of learning, you are thinking of what you are going to eat when you reach home.
So I have to study hard so that I prosper in life. So I'll come to school every day and I don't miss lessons.
The initiative continues to give hope, improve attendance, and shape a better future for learners. Reporting for Light TV, I'm Mike Mwanza.
In Lusaka, officers from the Drug Enforcement Commission have seized 6 vehicles belonging to Daliso Lungu, son of the former president Edgar Lungu, during a late-night operation at the former heads of state's Libalo residence. The operation, conducted by plainclothes officers, began Monday night and concluded around 1:44 a.m. The vehicles had been forfeited to the state after being deemed proceeds of crime. Daliso Lungu's lawyer, Charles Changano, described the seizure as unlawful and surprising, noting that the properties are under appeal. He also raised concern that DEC officers did not present a search warrant during the operation. The vehicles were subject to a ruling by the Economic and Financial Crimes Court, which Daliso Lungu has formally appealed.
It's been happening here from last night to this morning.
Yeah, we were just informed that the officers from the Drug Enforcement Commission have come here to collect the vehicles, which are already a court issue of appeal. And as you have found us here, you have seen them. They have gone away. They have not left any document for the seizure of the property. So we are also surprised. Maybe what we can say is we'll make some application to court, or we might even address their senior men, find out how they have come here without documents. Maybe that's the little we can say as of now.
How many properties, how many vehicles have they collected? And besides the vehicles, have they collected anything else?
As we arrived here, they collected 5 vehicles, but 1 vehicle had already been taken before we arrived.
Okay, which property is this?
Motor vehicles.
I'm saying the house where these vehicles were parked.
Yeah, this property is for our former president, ECA.
Okay.
Yes.
Were there any documents that were collected from the house?
We are not aware, but I think they have collected some other things from the house before we arrived.
Therefore, how would you describe the action that was taken tonight?
To us, when I arrived here, I showed them the judgment and the vehicles were on the judgment. So I told them that there is no law that allows you to take the property which are subject of an appeal before the Court of Appeal. But they could not listen to that.
Okay.
Yes, please. Because the law does not allow them to do what they have done. There is a procedure under the Forfeiture of Proceeds of Crime Act, where if the state wants to get the property, they must follow the procedure under Section 11. And then the law is very clear under that act to say where there is an appeal, they have to stop. To get that property, they must ask for leave. So we are surprised that one of the wings from the Drug Enforcement Commission, they have done that. We are even surprised how they could break the law with impunity like that, without them consulting their lawyers from the National Prosecution Authority. That they were just said we have been sent by the command. So we don't know which command has sent them. I think that's what I can say of now.
Thanks, Council.
Thank you very much, Council.
Yes, please.
Meanwhile, the Kumawa Development Coalition, also known as the Umozi Kumawa, has commended the Drug Enforcement Commission over a raid at the residence of the late former President Edgar Lungu. Spokesperson Chanoda Ngwira described the action as insensitive, saying it harassed the grieving family before burial. The group urges authority to prioritize and dialogue and a dignified resolution to the ongoing burial impasse. Umozi Kumawa has called on the government to engage the former first family and stakeholders for a respectful outcome and urge citizens, particularly in Eastern Province, to peacefully speak out while observing the law.
I want to condemn in the strongest terms the continued harassment of the former first family, and I think this must be condemned by all Zambians. As Kumawa Development Coalition, also known as Umozi Kumawa, and as Tonse Alliance, I think this must honestly come to an end. The former first family is mourning, and the case in question has been appealed against. So to hear and to see law enforcement agencies going to the home of the former president, who is actually in the mortuary, is something that is quite disheartening, and it is something that we as Umozi Kumawa condemn in the strongest terms. We feel harassed, and I think there must be a time where the country should heal through reconciliation. The country should heal through, stopping such, politically motivated moves. And so we want to appeal to Zambians, especially our people from Eastern Province, because the late president comes from there. We want to say that let's rise and make sure that we condemn such, conduct by law enforcement agencies. We are a peaceful region. We, respect traditions, and it is important that we voice out, because we are still mourning. we have not buried the former head of state. I think government should, change their energies. Instead of harassing the former first family, I feel they should find a way on how the former president can be buried. This is unacceptable, and this we must condemn, all of us.
Kalabo police have arrested a 20-year-old man in connection with a brutal assault that left a man partially earless. Western Province Police Commissioner Ray Hamonga confirmed the incident occurred on March 16, 2026 at Kalema village in Chief Mwenemundu's area of Kalabo district. Victim Njamba Kaunda, 27, confronted the suspect, Kalyangu Nawa, over a pair of allegedly stolen sunglasses, sparking a physical altercation. Later that evening, a drunken Nawa returned to Kaunda's residence, leading to a second confrontation during which he allegedly bit off part of Kaunda's right ear, causing permanent disfigurement. Police were alerted and a medical report was filed, and officers with the victim's help apprehended the suspect, who is now in custody and expected to appear in court. The Zambia Police Services condemns the attack and urges the public to resolve disputes peacefully and report grievances rather than resorting to violence. Investigations continue. We take another break. On the other side, join me for sports and international news.
Are you looking for a perfect place for family fun, kids' excitement, and unforgettable moments? There is a place where your dreams come to reality. Welcome to Fun World Twin Palm Moors, where every game brings a smile and every visit turns into a memory. From exciting arcades games to fun-filled play experiences, we have got something for everyone. There is always something for you for a play day out. Pick from our Fuzzy package. Also, have your birthday parties decorated with balloon and linen deco furniture for your kids with music system. It's always game time at Fun World. Come play, laugh, and make memories with us. The fun is waiting. Fun World Twin Palms is the place to be. Game time, playtime.
Welcome back. In sports news, Zambia Army Special Forces fighters have impressed at a mixed martial arts event held at Long Acres Mall in Lusaka. Lance Corporal Maluma Greg knocked out his opponent in the first round, earning a spot at the IMMAF African Games 2026 in Angola this April. Meanwhile, Lance Corporal Chisale Tassicius won a hard-fought victory by split decision in only his second competition appearance. The performance showcases the discipline, courage, and fighting spirit of the Zambia Army Special Forces as they continue to represent Zambia proudly on the international MMA stage. In international news, authorities say multiple blasts struck Maiduguri, the capital of Nigeria's Borno state, killing at least 23 people and injuring over 100 others. Security sources report that the explosions targeted crowded locations, including the entrance to the University of Maiduguri Teaching Hospital, the Central Mande Market, and a postal office during the evening iftar period following the break of the Ramadan fast. Officials suspect extremist group including Boko Haram or its offshore Islamic State West Africa province may be responsible, although no group has yet claimed responsibility. President Bola Tinubu is reported to have condemned the attacks as attacks of terrorism and has ordered senior security officials in Maiduguri to coordinate response efforts. Authorities say emergency responders are treating the injured and investigations are ongoing while residents are urged to remain calm and vigilant. That note brings us to the end of the main news. But before we go, here is a recap of our headlines. President Hichilema warns fuel companies against withholding fuel. Government approves 24 hours business operations. Chainda Councillor assesses school feeding program benefiting over 3,200 pupils.